Many times I feel like there isn't any more you can say about Gavin that hasn't already been said. However, I also feel like I haven't said enough, having only made one true commentary video on him in the past. And so, here comes the second. For a myriad of times, Gavin Bynum has demonstrated his failure to comprehend the severity of his actions in the Etika situation, and thus it should come as a surprise to no one that he fucking did it again, despite the 11 months of constant braiding that has reigned over him. This time he does it by summarizing the drama to a user named StarPiney2021 Star in an obvious attempt at manipulation and swaying him to his side, saying that he only told people to subscribe to his channel without disrespecting Etika, which is of course absolute fucking bollocks. Gavin, you do realize they put a situation as silly and trivial as your sub count over a situation as serious as Etika's suicide, and completely disregard the latter, as well as the grieving of thousands that came with it. It's really fucking sad that I have to bring up the same points to you that I have brought up in my first video on you 10 fucking months ago. He still believes that he wasn't being a bitch and that he wasn't doing anything wrong, which is straight up fucking mind-boggling, and keeps twisting the whole course of this shit out to play the victim to our harassment, which is total fucking bullshit. You were whining about your fucking views, basically trying to manipulate people into thinking that they did something wrong by not watching your videos, which is already very fucking annoying, and just because many people do it doesn't make you less of a fucking bitch. But then you factor in the fact that you were doing it with pretty much no regard to the situation of Etika's fans, who are pretty much mourning at that friend. Really? That section of that old ass video already addresses this bullshit you're still spewing all these months later, but allow me to review and elaborate beyond that screenshot I showed on what I was saying about you manipulating Etika's fanbase at the beginning there, which you left out from your shitty summary about this entire ordeal. You're clearly very aggressive in your self-promoting, guilt-tripping, mocking, and harassing Etika's fanbase for doing nothing more than mourning him, as seen here, and here. So not only did you set aside Etika's suicide in order to advertise your channel, which is already a terrible thing to do, you fucking attacked Etika's fans solely for grieving, being sad about an inspiration, a friend who passed away, and yet you still think you did nothing wrong. You still think you did nothing wrong after the exact points I've just brought up have been reiterated countless times during these 11 months in which we've been entangled with each other. Again, it is mind-boggling. It is fucking astonishing that you still think you're the fucking victim. What the actual fuck? But it seems you have plenty of other prats that you still want to spout, so let's go over them too. Continuing with his absolute garbage of a summary, he brings up next that he only disrespected Etika out of anger, and acts like it's a sound justification for doing something as terrible as that. For this section, we'll have our featured guest go over the idiocy in this remark.
Okay, so we all know that this very excuse is one of Reese's favorites. He has used this countless times, and every time he does, we buttfuck it. But since he still doesn't get it, I guess we'll just tell him again. Much like Faceder said, he still acts like the fact that he was angry makes it reasonable for him to disrespect a respectable man who committed suicide. And as we all know, it doesn't. This excuse of his is a terrible excuse for many reasons. First off, Reese, your emotional state during that time does not make what you did any less horrible. Disrespecting the dead, no matter the circumstances behind it, is still disrespecting the dead. He thinks sugarcoating his actions in a summary will impact how he is perceived and will make him seem more pitiful and like a victim, further backing up the fact he's a horrible manipulator. Secondly, after saying you didn't mean it with your awful, I was angry excuse before, you went and did even more shitty things. You may think you sound so nice and so innocent with this bullshit, but the fact that you are still defending your actions and even more trying to normalize it shows that you fully believe what you did was right and you had every right to do it. That contradicts what you were trying to tell Piney, which is that you understood what you did wrong and regretted it. You feel no remorse for your god-awful actions, and that alone gives everyone no reason to feel any sympathy for you, including Pioneer or anyone else who you tried to fool. Third, we listened to you the first couple of times you made this excuse and proposed a solution to get anger management, yet you refused to listen and went on doing more horrible things again, solely because you were spiteful. it's still your fault for not listening to this very obviously reasonable and exact solution. And to make this excuse even more silly, the whole reason you were angry was because people were mourning for someone who died, which is pretty fucked as well as ridiculous no matter how jealous you were. So, bottom line is this excuse is pure ass and it doesn't work anymore. I mean, it never really worked in the first place. We will tell this fact to you as many times as necessary so we can finally hammer it into your thick skull. And before you start whining in the comments denying this is an excuse, you clearly try to make it seem like it was okay to disrespect the dead as long as you were angry. Anyone can see that. So don't try to use that against us. Back to you, Faceder.
Just to add on a bit more for some clarification, we do in fact know that Gavin was excusing dead-ass insulting etiquette, since he has shown completely in the last part of his summary that I debunked that he only considers full-on insulting etiquette to be disrespectful. Additionally, to prove that Gavin has never put any attempt into controlling his anger, he's a public subscriber to all of our channels, actively trying to notice and shit on any new video we make that relates to him, which he knows will get him angry. Hell, he even tuned into my premiere the other day, making a fuss in the live chat. It was fucking hilarious. Therefore, Gavin cannot even make the excuse that he doesn't have anyone to turn to in terms of anger management. And with that being said, let's move on. In complete ignorance due to my narcissism to how I was being a fucking cunt by disrespecting the dead, I started attacking those who were telling me that I was in the wrong, insulting their content and their family out of nowhere, basically accusing them of self-promoting, threatening them, and then continued to harass those people elsewhere, getting myself into much more well-deserved trouble. Fixed it for you. Now, of course, since your objective is to obviously manipulate people to side with you, you leave out much of the important details in order to further make yourself appear like the victim. Let's go through some of these details I speak of. First, you fail to mention that this drama would not have lasted nearly as long if you hadn't came back and started bitching and harassing us, starting fights in every unrelated comment chain and video we made at the time, after we all forgot about what we then believed to be your friends, TV Head Zombie and Shanique. In actuality, the drama would have ended in late August, but you decided to harass us once again, thus kicking up the shitstorm that is still howling today. Quite rich coming from the one who keeps whining about how others won't leave him alone and keep bullying him, don't you think? Second, you did not bring up how you had us scratching our heads over your identity. After disrespecting etiquette on the TV Head Zombie account, you started engaging with us on another account you called Reese Bynum's Gavin Bynum, where you started mindlessly defending your actions and pretended to be another person, in an attempt to rid yourself of the responsibility which you will have to take for disrespecting the dead. Third, you left out how you stole videos from and impersonated us, twice, attempting to excuse your actions as a joke and even blaming it on us. Fourth, you failed to bring up how you made a bunch of half-assed apologies and kept relapsing after making them. Fifth, nothing about how the drama supposedly ended and restarted was ever mentioned, and the timeline you presented was also fucked. As for the drama quote-unquote ending, I suppose you are referring to when Ramon gave you a chance. That was on October 20th. Then, about 2 weeks later at the beginning of November, you started bitching about being harassed by people who weren't happy with you being homophobic. It was also about this time where you changed your description to, "I'm homophobic so I hate LGBT," supposedly as a joke, seemingly oblivious to the fact that it will inevitably lead to the continuation of the so-called harassment that you were bitching about. This broke one of the conditions for the good terms we were on, made during your chat with Ramon.
I know we made jokes about you on the internet and stuff, but the only reason that happened is because of the actions you took without thinking of the consequences. And that's what led up to people making videos about you, because they show the actions that you caused. It's what affected your own persona, your own personality and everything.
Obviously, then, we would have the right to criticize you for doing something so goddamn stupid, and we did, via Discord group DMs. I'm guessing this is what you regard as the drama starting again. By leaving all of this out, I suppose you were trying to paint the picture that we restarted the drama an entire month later without reason. That's bullshit.
And Reese, we don't choose to quote-unquote bully you just because we want to. We do this because you still are being a piece of shit. You act like we do this for the fun of it, which is untrue. Once again, you are painting yourself as the poor, pitiful victim who's repeatedly attacked by the heartless trolls that take fun in making others miserable. I bet you're nodding your head right now. But you're not.
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
It's sad to see that you are still so ignorant to this fact after the countless times that we've had to explain this. Before you cry boo-hoo as an attempt to mock us, we are being sad for you, because this just shows how unbelievably stupid you are. So go on, cry boo-hoo for yourself. I mean, technically you are and are always crying boo-hoo for yourself since you are still making yourself out to be the victim. Just goes in a circle. But you can cry about your own incompetence and lack of common sense instead. Or maybe you are actually aware that you are not the fucking victim and is just saying things this way to manipulate Piney, and everything you're doing is for that purpose, but I won't be surprised if you did actually delude yourself into thinking you were totally innocent. And as for your ridiculous accusation that we are troublemakers, please, are you kidding me? I assume it must have been dropped on your head as a kid since you're so forgetful to the point that you forgot you were the very person who starts this drama again every single fucking time. And you do it by relapsing and ass-fucking your apologies, which we have also covered multiple times. Think back to all those times the drama started again. Who is the one that made indescribably vile threats in their channel description right after apologizing for their deeds? Who's the one who acted like a triggered little bitch by revisiting our channels just to make nasty comments after we actually left you alone? Who is the one that came back on another account after the shitstorm but the account's TV head zombie and Shanique Bynum already blew over and started harassing us once again? It's all you. It certainly isn't us, Gavin Bynum. It certainly isn't us. All of these things that I just listed were actions committed by you that restarted the drama again and again. You, being the short-tempered, ill-bred dimwit that you are, threw a tantrum and started spitting out horrendously vile threats in your channel description just shortly after begging us at our feet to give you another chance. You, with your oh-so-untamable anger, repeatedly came back to our channels just to make more unpleasant comments to us. You, like Vasita already stated, bothered to keep revisiting our channels after we all already forgot about the drama since your alt's TV head zombie and Shanique died and finally pissed off and went on bitching and crying in every unrelated comment chain in our videos like the tragically pathetic fool that you are. In every one of these instances, we only responded and not started it. So in reality, we're the real people who retaliated, not you. We're only continuing this because you have made it evident to us over and over again that you still want to be a cunt, and you have also proven to us that your fragile little ego just can't let go of this drama, and you want to keep coming back to it. So, my response to your drivel that we are troublemaking bullies that take fun in bullying you and like to start shit again is that all of it is nothing but hogwash. Everything you spew turns out to be the complete opposite. It's hilarious, Reese. It's so hilarious but sad. And no matter what you do, you'd always be pathetic. Even your attempts at self-victimization fall flat to the ground and sink. This reminds me of how much you love to make the excuse that there are people much more pathetic than you back then. But, Reese, I'm pretty sure there isn't. I don't think there's anyone more pathetic than you. I mean, good fuck. You're the very embodiment, the pinnacle of a loser. You failed miserably at everything except being the most pathetic thing a lot of us have ever laid eyes upon. You can't be funny, you can't be clever, you can't insult people, and you can't even manipulate people properly. Your very existence is just so sad. I swear, Reese, if you can even name one person who's actually more pathetic than you, I will actually throw my legs at the back of my head in auto-cunniling, as well as put a dildo in my ass. That's pretty much it. Also, you're definitely not gonna ignore whatever new video any of us push out of our assholes. How many times have you said that? Then come back to our comment sections to start whining about us being meanies. Knowing you, you'll probably be lurking in this comment section too, and also dislike bomb this video if you're 40 plus alts that sub to your channel. You don't have to act so high and mighty like that. I know for a fact you'll probably be shitting your diapers and crying after this video.
Leaking your face? Totally. It's not like you showed your face to the entire fucking internet 8 months before we met. Oh wait. As for getting your location, you're right. We did try to get your IP. However, you actually received an apology for it, and the apology you got, unlike your various apologies, actually has weight since responsibility was actually taken, and we never leaked it or used it to threaten you afterwards. And hypocritically as you always were, and will likely continue to be, even threatened to get Joshua Cho's IP address, and also attempted, and failed miserably, to threaten us with having our addresses. I also find it hilarious how you complain about how we threatened to assault you, which wouldn't actually land us in jail, but fail to bring up how you threatened to assault us as well, and even worse, send God knows how many death threats, which is actually illegal. Again, you fail to include the crucial details that make you out to be the absolute scumbag that you truly are. Here, your objective to manipulate Piney to be on your side becomes overwhelmingly obvious. And regarding your accusations of racism, I suppose that you think using the N-word in and of itself is racist. If so, then how does it make it any better for a black person to slur their own race? If I yelled, let's say, "Oh, change to fucking die," or something, it doesn't magically make it not racist anymore just because I'm Asian, right? Furthermore, making a goddamn word of all things off limits to someone just because of their race, I'm afraid is actually discriminatory, and therefore racist. Either everyone can say it, or no one can.
I would also like to add for the millionth time that we don't often use this word in a racist context. A little while ago I read an article that was backing up the notion that only black people can say the N-word, and it made a comparison to the way girls call each other bitch in an endearing way, and stated that it's the same with black people and the N-word. However, that article was nothing but a load of bullshit, because what made it okay and endearing for girls to call each other bitches was not the fact that they were girls, but the context that it was used in. The same applies to the N-word. If I were to just say the N-word but not use it to insult you for being black, then it's not racist. However, like Faceder said, since you have made it clear to us that the N-word in and of itself is what is racist to you, then that word just shouldn't be used in general. So, you shouldn't be able to say this word either, whether you're a person of color or not.
This is of course our opinion only, but let's go through the facts. You seem to forget that this whole drama boils down to one thing. Us defending a black person who you disrespected after he took his own life due to mental illness. If we were racist, why then do we treat Etika like a god, as you claim? Think about it. For these reasons, this reply that you left is also absolute rubbish. And yes, we did make fun of your lips, and your lips only. We didn't say anything like, "Haha, black kid, your lips are so big," or anything along those lines. So no, it isn't racist. I do find it quite funny though, how accurately your lips portray you. It closely resembles the mouth of a fish, which is incredibly appropriate, since your very existence demonstrates that evolution can go in reverse. That about sums it up for Gavin's god-awful summary. Let's move on to the other comments that this absolute buffoon has prepared for us. Please, make up your fucking mind, Gavin Bynum. Is he lying or is he telling the truth? You can't even make one fucking comment without tripping over and contradicting yourself, showing how utterly desperate you are to have Piney on your side. If by bullying a few others you are referring to the slandering twat Dorian, the death threat sending whore Gus Salma, and the Nazi sympathizing half-wit girl Wes, it's self-explanatory as to why we would target them. Your whining about us leaking your face is also bullshit, and I've gone through why already. How can we be the ones leaking your face when 2/3 of a year before we even fucking met, you already posted it onto YouTube where anyone can see it? And also, as I've gone through already, you being so angry doesn't excuse you using Etika's death for fucking views, for fuck's sake, and neither does it excuse you mocking a bunch of his mourning fans for not subbing to you, you fucking cunt. You keep trying to make it seem as if you weren't disrespecting Etika or doing anything wrong before we came along, so your narrative falls apart once again because of how terrible you are at lying and how you keep contradicting yourself over and over. You yourself admitted to using Etika's death for attention before we came along, so why didn't you mention how you were angry then in that atrocious summary of yours? Why did you only mention how you were angry once you started talking about how you, in your definition, disrespected Etika? You keep trying to make it seem like you're innocent for fucking exploiting Etika's death for attention and views on your shitty channel, and even did the same in the next comment. So why then do you only make excuses for doing something so shitty when someone calls you out for it? Stop being such a dishonest fucking asswipe, Gavin. I already explained why that is complete bullshit, but these comments here just confirm that not only do you say this shit to villainize us and play the victim in order to manipulate others, but you genuinely believe that you did nothing wrong when you did what is equivalent to a businessman going to a funeral and insulting the attendees for not buying his products. Self-promoting and advertising your channel in itself is already looked down upon, since people who do that are usually terribly annoying, spamming their channel links everywhere in the comments of a totally unrelated video where literally 0 people give a shit. But the route you took was even worse. You chose to bitch and whine to people and harass them just because they were mourning and didn't know that you and your shitty ass channel existed, trying to make it seem like you were more important in the matter than Erica's passing, flashing your unbelievable selfishness to everyone else. How you fail to see the disrespect in that is beyond me. The latter half of the second comment shown is just you projecting, Gavin. I cannot even see how you think you have the grounds to tell someone else that they have no life, considering the extent to which you value fucking clout and attention over the internet, even considering taking your own life for it. And judging from that, it's pretty easy to see how you don't get any attention in real life. Seriously, whoever's in charge of you must be brain dead to raise a narcissistic cunt who disrespects the dead, harasses people for fucking grieving, and thinks he's in the right for it, likely even defending their kid for those actions. Either that, or they don't give 2 fucks about the path that you go down in life. I mean, it's not surprising in the slightest that your mother had you at 15 considering how terribly she raised you. Hell, we even predicted it a month and a half before your grand reveal.
I'm positive her Shanique is a fucking teen mom. Why else would she be so fucking immature and stupid?
But yeah, Gavin, just stop projecting your own obvious issues onto other people, okay? Your third comment, just like everything else, is also full of shit, and your victim mentality takes over, showing to us once again that even outside your purposeful deception, you still genuinely believe that you are the victim. Never mind, this comment is so full of shit, in fact, it fits right in with that sorry excuse of a summer you made, which you tried to manipulate Piney with. To start this off, how in the living fuck do you forget that you are the one who decided to insult and harass us before that video you were bitching about even fucking came out? If you decide to deny this like the absolute retard you are, then how the fuck are these screenshots showing you bitching in the comments of this video even present in the video in question? And you seriously expect us to be all nice to you after you disrespected the dead, senselessly harassed Erica's fans, attacked us on our channels, and even threatened us with suicide? How the fuck are you so goddamn entitled? You expect us not to be angry after all that bullshit you pulled? Also, your videos are absolute dog shit. You keep asking for people to watch your videos, but after you actually do and offer you feedback, you start bitching. Listen here, you fucking orangutan. If you want to get big, expect fucking criticism and negative feedback. Whiny, thin-skinned little bitch boys have no place in the YouTube feeds of more than the 6 people who actually watch your videos. There are always going to be people who don't like your videos, especially in that large population that your videos will inevitably reach if you were famous. And you need to accept that. And as for the videos themselves, yeah, they're terrible. How you act like criticism and negative feedback is the end of the world shows once again that you're an entitled little bitch. I'm guessing you're trying to guilt trip us with this nonsense, but Gavin, you haven't fooled anyone, except likely yourself. I really think at this point that you tell yourself these lies in order to convince yourself that you're the victim. Once again, you ass-raped the chronology of this drama in order to play the victim card. She made the video after you came onto our channels and started harassing us, you fucking prick. Her video is dead-ass a response to all the things you were saying while you hung around her comment section. Also, James Calandra was one of the people you ran across while you decided to be a prick in those comments too, so you came at him and not the other way around. We came at you because you decided to be a cunt in that Killer Bean video, and I have already gone through why we decided to do so.
It's absolutely fucking astonishing how you managed to fuck up the events of the drama that badly. Hell, I think I can hear all that rattling all the way over here because your brain is so damn small. Explains how you can't carry all those memories. I was indeed saying all of those things because you are being a fucking ass-stabbing cockmonkey, both in the comments of that Killer Bean video where this whole shitstorm started, and in my videos. Joshua Cho said nothing wrong. Like Vaseater already pointed out, my video was literally me reading and responding to the comments that you left on my channel to harass me with. You cannot say we came at you first after you directly targeted us. I will go into further detail in a later segment. Which means you were already harassing us before I said shit about you. You didn't answer shit. And after this very sensible and understandable comment, you couldn't respond anymore or make any more snarky retorts, so you decide to start acting like a little brat by ignoring all logic and arguments and full-on whining, insisting that we are the ones who came at you first. You basically admitted defeat with that. You dug your own grave and sat into that one. It's pathetic. You can't argue anymore, so you start crying like a bitch. How laughably foolish. Just admit you attacked us first, you circus-running jackass. With that said, let's move on.
Your entitlement shines through once again, Gavin Bynum. You are being a piece of shit in that Killer Bean video, so we attacked you for it. Seriously, why do you expect to get off scot-free after doing things as fucked up as disrespecting the dead, you fucking cunt? Do expect to get punishment for doing shitty things, dumb fuck. That's why the justice system exists. You are not exempt from punishment for whatever shitty reason you're going to give. Good God, the world would be fucked if people like you ran it. Thankfully, not enough people in this country are as brain dead as you are and won't waste their vote on a prick like you, so your delusional dreams about being a president will never come true. But yet again, Gavin projects. The only one trying to justify annoying behavior is you, Gavin. You keep pulling your bullshit, I was angry, excuse in an attempt to justify disrespecting the fucking dead and all the other shitty things you're doing, like supporting fucking pollution entertainment to get on our nerves. You're the one who keeps attempting to normalize advertising your channel when people were fucking mourning, and even tried to justify it by saying that you lacked attention and respect. And you're the one who keeps spitting out bald-faced lies in order to excuse harassing us and starting shit on our channels, and yet we're the ones being annoying for calling you out for your bullshit? Stop thinking that you're infallible, Gavin Bynum. You had this coming your way for being a piece of shit. Textbook ad hominem fallacy. Instead of defending the bullshit you were spewing, you choose to make an unrelated personal attack. This just shows that you don't even have an argument anymore, and that you're incapable of defending your position. Obviously, that's because your position is indefensible, but you probably don't even know that.
So now that you're pretty much defeated, you decide to be a plain asshole. A greater example of how truly pathetic you are. Once again, you are the one that is actually full-on harassing us, you fucking ape. As shown in this picture, you have no right to tell us that we are the bullies who continuously harass you, and you've been dropping personal attacks this whole time and countless other things that are much worse than anything we did. So we can be wrong, but you can't? What bullshit. Don't bitch about harassment and you start using Phantom's hyper situation as a weapon. And don't tell us we harassed you first either because we already explained that you were the one who actually did that.
And this also just goes to support what Phantom's Hyper said about you belittling other people's issues. I know that wasn't really his point, but I found it interesting nonetheless. Can you even fucking read, you dumb cunt? That's exactly what he said. You started harassing us after we called you out for being a piece of shit. Or, since you only mentioned those two, I suppose you're still trying to spew that dumb bullshit about how you only harassed us after the videos were made. Which, as I have already explained, is a fucking lie. Again, how you fail so miserably to properly recall one of the most important details in this entire drama is extremely suspicious. It seems to be absolutely impossible that you just forgot it. If you are trying to manipulate us, you're failing as terribly as you always were and always will, being the perfect example of a loser that you are. My theory that you just brainwash yourself so that you can swim in the delusions of being an innocent victim still seems the most probable. As for us wanting to start heat,
It could have just been a small occurrence in a comment chain in the comment section of a Killer Bean video, something small and easily forgotten. Yet you kicked up a fuss in one of my videos and made this escalate from a twister to a shitstorm.
exactly. Maybe you had even a sliver of common sense and didn't get so fucking butthurt over someone telling you to shut up, then we wouldn't be where we are today. You can't bitch about us trying to start hate when you were the one who started actively harassing us. And yes, your first apology was terrible. I'll go over why in a later section where you hide behind it once again, but what the fuck were you even trying to say with the latter who claims bullshit? Do you even know what that means? Latter refers to the second of a list of 2 things that you made. So you're trying to say that my sister was the only one claiming that your first apology was fake? Bruh. Speaking of her, the next 2 sections are focused on stupid comments that Gavin made in response to her, so she will cover them.
Reese, are you fucking serious? Are you actually fucking serious right now? You absolute motherfucking immature little bitch. I told you what you did wrong in a level-headed way like anyone should and would, and this is your response? You're actually a fucking brat. Holy fuck. I can't believe what I'm reading. Don't tell me what I can and can't do. Jesus Christ, I feel like I'm arguing with a special needs kindergartner who got all cocky after getting a classroom award. You see, it's this fucking mentality of yours where you think you can do whatever the fuck you want that gets you so fucked all the time. This is exactly fucking why you're in this mess, because you think you can do whatever you want without getting in trouble. If you do, great. It's other people's fault and I should be able to go around and be a piece of shit as much as I want because other people aren't the boss of me and they can't tell me what to do. Actual fucking toddler here. Holy hell, this comment is stupid on so many levels I can't even begin to describe how silly it is. I merely told you the truth. You shouldn't have directly targeted me because that is exactly why this shit started. We would have left you alone after you stopped commenting on that Killer Bean video or we hit the reply limit in the comment chain, but then you came to us and directly harassed us, me first specifically, and on a completely random video of mine. You chose to get into this mess yourself. You wanna fuck with me, my friends, on my fucking channel with your cum-stained hands, wrap around a tiny lump of meat called a penis trying to start some shit, and now that you get what you went there for, you're trying to play it as if you're innocent and that you don't deserve all this? We merely retaliated when you launched the attack, Reese. Did you expect us to sit on our hands and do nothing as you're brandishing a knife and pouncing on us? I don't give a fuck how offended and upset you were about me telling you to shut the fuck up, Reese. You're still in the wrong for not only harassing Etika's fans for the stupidest reason possibly recorded in YouTube history, but also personally visiting my channel to harass us. It's just as I said in my video. You come into this doghouse, you're gonna get bit. You tried to fuck with us, and now you're getting bent over and fucked in all your holes instead. I know I'm repeating the exact words, but that's because it seems the things I said in my previous video all flew over your head. Or you didn't listen at all. I'll tell you this as many times as I have to get it into your fucking skull. So yes, I can tell you what you can or can't do if it's sensible and smart, you retarded twat. Which you are not. And as for your rude people who exist get over a comment, Faceder basically already pointed out how absolutely bullshit it is on that shitty comment of yours where you talk about how we should have went on with our day, so I'm going to spare you more of my yelling. But don't think this is the end of it. I've got more. Who the fuck said anything about your life? It doesn't take Sherlock fucking Holmes or Albert fucking Einstein to know that your shitty clit twister of a mom completely and utterly ate shit at teaching you how to act like a fucking normal and respectful person and or be a normal and respectful person. Your shit actions are enough proof of that. I don't need to know anything about your life to be able to infer that your upbringing was absolute rat balls, and I wasn't even trying to act like I knew anything about your life. The facts are that you were an ignorant little fuck who doesn't know shit about respect or decency. No one gives a fuck about what's going on in your life. We only care that you were still being a little bitch, you fucking urinal cake. And after the shit stain of a comment, all you said afterwards is the same moronic bullshit. Do you know? Do you know? Good God, I am convinced that you were being crushed by my arguments, so your brain just started malfunctioning, and you decided to turn to these horrendous comebacks. They don't fucking work, you dipshit. They just make you look even more stupid. And before you say that you don't care, you totally do. Being the whiny bitch puppy you are, you're going to wail about it like you do with everything. Well, cry me a river, Reese. I don't give a shit. There isn't much else to say about this retarded comment besides wasting you guys' time by going on and on about how stupid Reese is, so I'll stop here. I suggest you stop talking out of your fucking back door, Reese. And now, I'll pass it back to you, Fasader. Spotlight's been on me long enough.
No, Gavin Bynum, you didn't ever properly apologize. That holds true for the shitty first apology of yours that you keep holding on a pedestal as well. You were never actually sorry for the terrible shit you keep doing, and pretty much every comment included here shows that. Your excessive victim playing, justification of your actions, and failure to understand how much of a prick you were initially being were littered all over these comments. Everything about how this drama started, which you need to apologize for, is being fucked over by your bullshit. We wanted an apology from you in which you take responsibility for disrespecting, yes, disrespecting Etika by exploiting his death for attention, and yet you're here sitting on your ass spouting your utter bullshit about how you were only self-promoting and not being disrespectful, even trying to put the blame and responsibility of you disrespecting Etika on us, making the garbage excuse of you being angry every single time and blaming us for not standing around and letting your bullshit take place. We wanted an apology from you for dumping your cubic kilometers of fucking gasoline into this dumpster fire, yet all you do is lie about how we are the ones who came at you first by dropping those videos calling you out. When you're still doing this shit to this very day, it is indisputable that your apologies are about as empty as your fucking skull. Well, this clip from this video that you should probably rewatch to grasp the point of really summarizes the rest of what I have to say about your so-called apologies.
You were never sorry. All that was on your mind is suppressing the thoughts and facts I've mentioned before and saving your own ass. You didn't want to continue being targeted. You were desperate to get away. So the idea you had was, why not just give them what they want? I'll just apologize and then they'll go away and I don't have to face these consequences anymore. But being the fucking idiot you are, you thought all we wanted was the waste of your fucking spit that you call an apology, when in actuality we wanted a genuine change of heart which you are too weak and unqualified to fulfill.
And again, stop trying to pin the fucking blame on us. We kept making Reese videos in response to you being a piece of shit. In fact, we kept making them due to how fucking bad your apologies are. It does not excuse your actions of being a piece of shit and never living up to your apologies, or not apologizing whatsoever. It just shows once again that you're an entitled fucking cunt who thinks that you shouldn't receive backlash for being a terrible fucking person. Gavin, you stupid fucking cunt. Do you seriously think we're only upset at you for the bullshit you pulled last August? You expect us to forget what you did when we've been involved with and lecturing you for damn near an entire year, and yet you're still acting like a fucking cunt trying to justify what you did? If anything, that this has been going on for a fucking year gives us more of a reason to shit on you. It demonstrates the extent to which you are blinded by your selfishness and narcissism, that even though my points about how your initial actions are wrong have been repeated for so long, they still haven't gotten to your head. You're the same piece of shit that you've been a year ago, so why shouldn't we still be upset at you? What about the countless other shitty things you've done, like lying to other people to sway them on your side, and faking God knows how many apologies and using them to guilt trip us? You've never stopped being a despicable excuse of a human being. You're still a piece of shit, and that's why we still have the reason to make videos on you.
The amount of time this has been going on doesn't fucking matter if you are still being a fucking wet turd. Why the fuck should we let it go? Huh? You're so goddamn entitled, you think that we should just let you off the hook and get over it. If anything, you should pick your pants up and get the fuck over it. Why did you get so fucking butthurt over me telling you to shut up, huh? You're so fucking dumb that you still can't understand how fucking awful it is to just stomp on the memory of a dead man and fucking harass the people that are literally mourning. How can someone be this fucking retarded? We have every motherfucking excuse to keep making videos on you, you little shit. Look here. Look at your screen right now. These are fresh comments that you recently made that depict you being a snot-nosed little pube. This is why we're still making videos, because you still don't fucking get it. You don't get what you did wrong, and that gives us every reason to keep doing this. If we pulled a Twitter move and started criticizing you for something you did like 10 years ago that you feel sorry for now and realize it was wrong already, then your statement would be valid. But no, you don't get it at all. So you're quote-unquote argument here is fucking shit.
Also, don't even think about calling me a hypocrite for telling Piney to get over something that happened a year ago. Comparing this drama to what me and Piney got into is nothing more than a false equivalence. I left him alone and stopped responding to him pretty fucking quickly and pretty much forgot about it. Can't say the same about what's going on between me and you now, can we? I suppose you would be commenting before you even watch the entirety of this video, so you probably went and spouted your bullshit about this already. I have already responded to this bullshit you've been vomiting about how we could have left you alone, so let's not waste our time and just leave it at this. You're an entitled fucking bitch. Moving on, here's why I finally addressed you pathetically hiding behind that shit first apology of yours. Your first apology was bullshit because you never even fucking took responsibility for the initial actions you were taking that started this entire fucking drama. Remember at the time of your first apology, you still claimed to be a separate person from TV Head Zombie, just so you can evade taking responsibility for your deeds. You seriously think this is even the satisfactory fucking apology? You even made other excuses for yourself based off that lie, such as that you were only defending TV Head Zombie because we kept mocking the two of you, and that we called you a clown for defending him. So remind me again why we should believe your fucking apology when you kept making these stupid excuses and lying. Another point I'd like to bring up is how you responded when we called out how terrible your apology is. You started crying like a bitch. Here were your exact words after Phantoms exposed it. Your apology is so disingenuous that you can't even handle it falling under the slightest bit of fucking scrutiny and immediately relapse after we become skeptical of it. It's so fucking obvious that you were never sorry. And this is the apology you hide behind? Pathetic. Stop blaming Phantoms for simply calling out your bullshit. At the very least, you admit that your other apologies were garbage. The third point you made just supports what I said about your apologies being disingenuous once again, and that those apologies you were going to make were going to be bullshit. So you were going to apologize for your wrongdoings, and after we made a video on you because of the wrongdoings you were going to apologize for, you snapped and didn't apologize? What the fuck kind of logic is this? And what the fuck were you going on about with that "I was angry" nonsense? This was what you were responding to. What particular instance were you referring to? Is excusing every shitty thing you've ever done with "I was angry" just instinctive and in your genes at this point? As for your fourth point, I'm not totally certain what you're talking about, but it's most likely bullshit. I'm pretty sure you're referring to this video that Pizza 2 made. This video was the only one plugged in my sister's server during the month of December, and in fact during the whole year of 2020 so that your shitty odds won't fuck up the like to dislike ratio, and thus it did receive a lot of support and it fit your description. The only problem is that this video was uploaded after you stole the videos, you fucking dunce. Yup, that video was uploaded on December 12th while you started uploading the stolen videos on the 8th. More evidence that this is absolute bullshit is that in this conversation we had about you stealing the videos, you never once mentioned this video that Pizza 2 made that triggered you oh so much. What the fuck happened there? Why do you keep not answering my question about what video you were referring to, despite how you've definitely been online since I've asked? Also, from what I understand, you stole the CF Series 12's video for a pretty goddamn stupid reason. So let me get this straight. You all got into some trivial argument over your opinions on a TV show on an old video of his, you started making a fuss over it in his comments, and then you steal his fucking video for it? Well, I don't know exactly what the fuck was going on, but from what I can see, this just makes you petty as fuck. Okay. Let's start with this Pico school person who you're threatening to invite into this drama. This reminds me of Girl West and David Elliott talking about a supposed Big Mike who never showed up. Do you really think we're scared of your threats, Gavin? Even if you do decide to get him to harass us, I doubt it'll work towards your benefit. As I have already covered in this video, you are a lying manipulator who still thinks he did nothing wrong by disrespecting the dead and the mourning. If this Pico school person has any morals, then I think that should be enough of a reason for him to realize that you're a piece of shit and distance himself from you. But just in case that isn't enough, Here's a recording of you straight up telling us that you're going to lie to him about this drama. And Pico School, if you're watching this and what I've shown still isn't enough to convince you that your friend Gavin is a cunt, do you really want to support someone who fucking sends dick pics and streams himself dead-ass jerking off to a group of minors? Let's push all of that aside for now and focus on Gavin's incredibly stupid response to me. Do I really even have to say anything? You really said that you don't care, then fucking whined in all caps about us getting views off of you and bullying you 24/7. And then said that you don't care again. What? Well, if I remember correctly, the all caps comment was held for review, so you probably thought it didn't, posting that you can continue acting like a tough guy without looking like a dumbass. You didn't comment on that FNF mod video until over a week after the video dropped, and you didn't even dislike it either, but obviously you were butthurt enough to report it. And I highly doubt it's any different for that Reese trying to find a job video as you claim. At this point, it just sounds like you're trying way too fucking hard not to care. And you, of all people, telling me that I should think before I comment? Fucking hilarious. You should have probably taken your own advice before insulting Etika and making every other comment you try to excuse later on by saying that you were angry and that you didn't mean it. You should have probably taken your own advice before saying that Joshua Cho is lying before saying that what he said was true in the same exact comment. You should have probably taken your own advice when you try to act like you don't care about the videos we make about you, before crying about us getting views off of you in the next fucking comment, and I could go on and on. That little smiley face you add at the end is also pretty funny. It reminds me of the time when you edited this comment to add that smiley, and then edited it again to remove it after I replied to you saying that your bullshit was easy as hell to see through. This little tough guy act that you keep trying to pull off as a whole is just a fucking joke.
Jesus, there's so much wrong with this comment I don't even know where to start. Looky here, pal. We don't have to be fans of Etika to know that you were being a goddamn piece of shit. How fucking retarded do you have to be to promote your channel in an extremely rude and aggressive manner in a place where like 90% of the comments are people mourning for someone's suicide and still think you did nothing wrong? That's what's really hard to imagine. Stop using the word imagine for situations that aren't hard to imagine at all. No, we're not being so defensive. We're being normal humans with basic human decency that know how to pay their respects to a person who passed away. Not only did Etika pass away, it was a suicide, and suicide is a tragic and horrible thing. Someone like you will never understand the pain that Etika or anyone else who have been in similar situations had to endure. You know, Reese? You know what I think of you? You're nothing but a weak little bitch who was spoiled by his parents, and the moment you finally have to face a real problem in your whole damned life, your entire world falls apart. Don't start asking me if I know anything about your life, Reese. Nuh-uh. I may not know much about your relationship with your parents or how exactly you were raised, but I do know you are a fragile, helpless fool who'll be mercilessly ass-fucked when you finally have to face the real world. The world isn't rainbows and unicorns, Reese. When you step out there, there won't be anyone to cover up your ass for you. You're on your own. Life doesn't pull any punches. Look at you now. You're over here crying and pissing your pants because, ooh, Beanie bullies bullying me and telling me that I'm wrong. Now that you actually have to face consequences and take responsibility for once, your life is miserable. How sad. You can't lie your way out, you can't cry your way out, and for once, you can't just walk away. For once, poor Reese has to take responsibility. This is the real world, Reese. You'll constantly be judged, and you have to fix the problems that life throws your way. You can't just do whatever you want. The world doesn't revolve around you. When you fuck up, people aren't going to forgive you so easily. People aren't going to kiss your toes and do everything for you because you're just one of the billions of people on this planet that will one day be forgotten. Yeah, that's the reality of it, Reese. Shocking, I know. I'm not at the top of this world? Of course not. You're just another idiot on this earth. You're not big and important, and you have to work if you want something. Your life isn't hell just because you have problems, you dimwit. Everyone has problems, and you shouldn't belittle others just because you have your own. You're just like everyone else. And a lot of people's problems are much worse than yours. Etika is one of those people. Etika's fans are some of those people. There are countless people who are suffering much more than you are, Reese, and you think your lack of talent and subs gives you the right to trample on these people? I told this to you already, and I'll tell you it again. Nobody has the right to disrespect the dead. These people that died are still in the hearts of others. They're still loved by others. Their memory is precious. Remembering them lets the grieving move on, and no one has the right to take that away from them. Especially not some incompetent buffoon who spent his time envying other people who are much better than he is with his thumb up his ass. And for the last fucking time, promoting your channel is annoying enough, but you didn't just promote your channel, you took a big fat shit on the people who were mourning and chose to harass them. You were not fucking innocent, and what you did was not fucking okay, you clit face. For fuck's sake.
Yeah, and try telling that to the people who tell annoying link spammers to shut the fuck up. Do they seem like they're very defensive of a streamer, or do they just want annoying fucks to not be a pain in the ass for everyone in the comments? And also, why would we be so unimaginably defensive of a black streamer if we're fucking racist? Gavin, how the fuck are your logical thinking skills this shitty? And you think you can be president with a brain as underdeveloped as yours? Absolutely fucking hysterical. Okay, final segment. What better way to wrap this up than this hilarious display of patheticness from Gavin? It seems like little Gabby over here got the false hope that someone would be retarded enough to be on his side again, or rather, he deluded himself into thinking that Piney was truly backing him up. Just because someone agrees with you on one subject doesn't mean they're supporting you, Gavin. In this case, it's probably because of the rather rude demeanor which I display towards the both of you, and shortly afterwards, I would guess that he changed his mind. That doesn't mean he was ever supporting you, or defending your actions such as disrespecting the dead and faking apologies. Piney was never truly on your side. This just tells me that Gavin thinks that everyone who isn't mean to him is somehow his friend, which is absolutely fucking pitiful. It's like someone speaking to him nicely is a rare occurrence in his life. The same thing happened with Knightley. He was just someone who had more patience than the rest of us when it comes to dealing with him. But after his patience thinned down due to his bullshit, he decided to call him a traitor, fucking send him extremely vile death wishes, and even slander him. And Gavin, it's also fucking rich how you keep playing the good guy, saying shit like, I don't want more victims of your harassment, while you keep trying to drag him in here as shown by your shitty-ass summary and the lies you told to him about the drama, making us seem like abhorrent fucking people who are much worse than you are. So, Piney, you can probably tell by now, but Gavin is someone who is not to be trusted, and who you definitely do not want to associate yourself with. I suppose you already knew that before this video even came out, hence why you quote-unquote betrayed him, and his attitude towards you afterwards likely strengthened your feelings towards him, but I hope this video sets it in stone.
And Reese, even if you did somehow get Piney to be on your side, it's not even gonna work because the moment Piney steps onto that battlefield, they're gonna leave your side. You wanna know why? Your bullshit summary was bestrewn with your lies, and because you're so awful, you have to leave out like 75% of the goddamn story to make yourself look like the good guy. If your trashy summary is all that Piney has, then they're gonna be confused because they don't know anything about the actual important parts of the whole story. And sooner or later, they're going to learn just how big of a scumbag you truly are. So yeah, it's not even gonna be good for you in the long run. You're a fucking idiot. You couldn't even calculate this while spewing all that shit to Piney. You are pathetic. You would do anything to get some positive attention from people, even if it's temporary. But know this, no one will ever be on your side because you are nothing but a scummy, good-for-nothing, cock-stroking shitstick. You will forever be the lonely little bitch that you are. So cry about it, Reese. Cry about it.
Yeah, no one except literal fucking trolls like Boy Ease, or should I say, Dorian V. People only support you because they know it's an annoying and piece of shit thing to do. That should really say something about you. It's hilarious how pathetic you are. You made it to the end of this long-ass video. Congratulations. Overall, the main takeaway from this is that Gavin Bynum is a lying, manipulative, entitled thunder cunt who somehow still thinks he's in the right for disrespecting the dead. He still holds the beliefs that somehow we're the ones at fault for telling him off after he disrespected Etika and his fans who mourned him. If you have been following the drama, then none of what I just said should be news to you. Gavin has been this way since the beginning, and he has been called out for those exact things many, many times, and I doubt he will stop being the way he is anytime soon. To Gavin, if you made it so far, why are you such a fucking cunt? Why do you think we're anywhere near as bad as you are? Why do you still think you're innocent? Why do you think you should get away without consequence for being an abominable human being? If you choose to respond, I am positive that you will bring up a point that has been obliterated numerous times in this video even, because that's how absolutely fucking retarded you are.
And I know we were repetitive calling you pathetic, Reese, but you know what? Who gives a fuck? We've stated nothing but the sad truth. We spelled it out for you. You are pathetic. There is no better word to describe you. You're just pathetic. You're more pathetic than the shitty 3am YouTubers, J-Station, and even people like Dorian. Holy shit, you were willing to throw away your sad little life just for a little bit of attention. It's laughably foolish, but somehow sad at the same time. If someone told me you are a robot who was programmed to be the most pathetic thing in existence as an experiment to just see how miserable you would end up for people to laugh at you, I'd honestly believe it. I don't give a fuck how repetitive I am with it, because the word pathetic was literally made for you. For people like you. People like you who value attention so much and become little whores for it. People who dream so big but the most impressive thing they can do is crawl out of bed. People who have their heads so far up their asses but can't even do a single thing right. It's sad. It is so sad. That is what you are, Reese. A sad, miserable existence born into this world to be stomped on and laughed at. You can continue to act tough and act like you don't care, but I think we all know who's gonna be hugging your pillow at night. Hell, you can be acting tough and you try to get bitches and end up getting hit and told off, cry about how life is unfair after getting a taste of the real world, make jokes like ask me if I'm a truck, cry about bad words, cry about satirical racism, the list can go on and on. Jesus Christ, it's even confirmed now that your dick is small. At least I gained one good thing from that shit you pulled. You were born to be the biggest loser in history. You will forever be looked down upon. You will forever be disrespected. You will forever be a pile of dog shit sitting there on the streets. People don't even have to give it a second of thought to know that your future will be awful. Face it, Reese. You have no room to be so arrogant. You are seriously impossibly pathetic. So, instead of being a sick freak and putting on a show for people on the internet, stop making a dick of yourself. Either you go see a therapist and truthfully tell them everything that happened so you can get treated, or you can accept your fate and be ridiculed by everyone in the future and spend the rest of your life begging for scraps on the street and running from Amber Alerts. And also have fun trying not to be registered as a sex offender.
But yeah, I guess this clip sums up what we have to say to you.
You could grow the fuck up. I'll leave that choice up to you, cunt.
Well, it would've if you hadn't stooped even lower than you already were during the scripting of this video. Fucking jerking off in front of minors on Discord against their consent numerous times. Seriously, go fuck yourself, Gavin Bynum. You are without a doubt the worst person I have ever come into such extensive contact with. After what you did, I can say more confidently than ever that you deserve whatever I and others have thrown your way, and whatever we will throw your way. Fuck you. To everyone else, have a good one, and I'll see you around. It seems like little Gabby over here just got the false hope that someone will be retarded.